Now what I learned in going around the room is some of you are speaking at conferences, others are more concerned in terms of your speaking in the classroom. So we're going to juggle that a little bit. We will talk about both because the principles are very much the same. Very much the same. The audience can always get out and walk out, can't they? And ultimately, what is your goal? Is to keep them there, to keep them engaged, to keep them learning, and ultimately to get results. But the question is how. And that is going to be a focus for today, is how do you do it? It's a way of getting you thinking about your experience and your attitude towards speakers. Right now, I want to ask you, how many presentations have you attended? Now, they could be classroom lectures, they could be conferences that you've gone to, and why don't we put a time frame on it? Why don't we say in the last 2 years, how many presentations have you been in the audience? Where have you been in the audience? Just shout out a number. 50? Yeah. 40? Yeah, so a lot. Now, I want you to think hard. Out of those 40 or 50, how many were memorable for the right reasons? How many? 5. Maureen says 5. What about the rest of you? 1 or 2. 1 or 2. Okay. So we've got this high number, we've got this low number, and the question of what's happening in the gap. So I want you to think of those that were the ones you walked out and said, I'd like to hear that speaker again. Or that was really good. I'm glad I attended that lecture or that presentation. Why? And right now, that's what I want you to do is just shout out the why. Well, what are the mistakes that speakers make? And which is kind of a negative. You said the positive or negative, but I was thinking, what are the top 10 mistakes that speakers make? And so I was going to approach it from that direction. What are the mistakes that people make, and then what to do so it doesn't happen? That's the goal, is we don't want to make these mistakes. But as I show you the top 10 mistakes, I want you to think, which ones are you guilty of? And as I walk through the top 10 and give you some ideas, examples, etc., I want you to think about the presentation you came prepared with today. Where do you fall with this? Because I am going to give you a few minutes when I finish the top 6 to say, okay, you got 10 minutes to go back and redo anything. Now, I'm going to show the next 5, but it's only the next one, number 6 on here, that has anything to do with the messaging. And that is a weak opening and close. There are the theories of primacy, recency. People remember what they hear first and last. You made decisions about me when the minute I walked in this room, when I went and talked to all of you, and clearly when I opened this presentation. Is she credible? Is she going to be interesting? Is this topic of value to me? You made all kinds of decisions. Did I get your interest? Did I develop a need for you is the question. And are you doing this for your audience? Or are you just getting up and saying, good afternoon, today is, and I'm here to talk about it, and I'm glad to be here. Aye. You see, the more I'm on I, you don't care how I feel about being back here today. You knew why you were here, and you didn't even have a choice. Some of your audiences don't either. So what are you doing to break their preoccupation and pull them in, and then end with something? They walk away, it pulls it all together.